We have Laura Stinchfield, the pet psychic, today with her beautiful dog,
Hudson,
and Anthony, who is a dog trainer, I understand. And you've got a good buddy there too. Who's that?
This is Indy. I call him Indigo for some reason. He's just got that little blue reflection from the sky. So.
I thought the way he was moving around so fast, it was Indy 500.
Well, that too. It depends on the day.
So tell me, we're going to try and focus in on Hudson and Indy. Huh?
And Indy. So I wanted to bring Anthony on today because Anthony has helped me out so much with Hudson, and he's helped out a lot of my clients and my friends' dogs. So Hudson was this, I got him when he was 10 weeks old, and he was this perfect dog till he was about 11 months. He was completely well socialized, friendly with everyone. In 11 months, his testosterone came in, and he became very difficult with other dogs. He became a bully with other dogs, and I couldn't trust him anymore. Sometimes he would get aggressive.
Is that like the teenage years in equivalent?
Yes.
Okay.
But his lasted for a while, and I have lots of dog trainer friends, and so he's done lots of agility and trick training and done all sorts of training. And then I had another trainer work with him that was a little bit too dominant for Hudson, and Hudson wasn't having fun. And I just watched Anthony and the dogs that he worked, and I was really impressed. I was really impressed with how happy they were, and how well socialized they were, and how free they were, and also well behaved. And so I contacted him to help me with Hudson, because a lot of other dog trainers were telling me just to manage the behavior and to just have him on leash around other dogs. But I live a very active life. I wanted him to be running at the beach with other dogs. I just wanted not to worry and be able to take him places. And Anthony has been amazing for us. He has helped Hudson feel confident at the beach and greeting other dogs, and so I wanted to talk to Hudson today about Anthony and how Anthony has helped him. And then also Indy has been a little difficult before he's come to you, right? So he's a client's dog.
Right. He belongs to a client.
And tell us about Indy, why Indy came to you.
Well, first of all, both of these dogs are super athletes, and they have very high intelligence, on the scale of how dogs have intelligence. Indy had a little bit of a panic. So if he got pinned in a corner, or if the leash got tied around his leg, his reaction was just bite whatever's near me. And the client had it was completely random. And one day I said, well, okay, so this dog has broken skin on you 6 times now. Let's take a look at the marks. And they were all these little half-inch just scrapes, but definitely wouldn't cause blood. And I showed him, they were all within about a 2-inch spot on his arm. And I said, look, it's happening exactly the same way every time. You just don't notice it because it's different circumstances, but your dog has a pattern. He's doing exactly the same thing. And so he had 6 little half-inch scars on his wrist, and then one on the other side that was almost in the same spot. So just understanding that the dog has a pattern, and just having it that the dog is aggressive doesn't really help much, because that's a really big bucket to dump the behavior in. But if you can look at the dog's pattern, sometimes you can just interrupt that and say, okay, whatever it is you're doing when you do that, let's have you create a different strategy. I want the puppy to choose a different strategy than panic and snap.
Well, maybe Laura can tune into why Indy bites that way.
So Indy, honey, do you know that I can hear you, and we're going to talk about your behavior and how Anthony has helped you? Oh, she said that Anthony has taught him to ask Anthony for love, which is also the treats, right? So that is offering his sit. What else has he taught you? He said that he's taught me that when you're a dog, you have to think and not be too silly. He said also sometimes Anthony says no, and he's very strict. And when he does that, I have to be extra good. What do you think about when you were biting your person? Did you know that you were biting too hard? because you were breaking the skin. Do you understand? And you're not supposed to do that. That's right. He says he's supposed to concentrate all the time, and it's hard. I know, it's so hard. You're supposed to never, ever, ever bite anybody. Do you know that? Never put your mouth on anyone. He says sometimes he thinks about doing it and he stops himself. Like right there, did you notice? He just did it, he stopped himself right there.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to get the dog to do, is interrupt the habit that is automatic and put some brain cells on it, right? So that he can choose a different strategy that actually could work better for him.
He says because when you're told that you're bad all the time, you don't even know how to be good. I should also say, like, his like moving around behavior is usually a set off for Hudson. Like, Hudson usually wants to correct that and like get in everyone's business and make sure that doesn't happen, and he's being really good. Hudson says one of the things Anthony's taught him, that if Hudson's gonna act like a jack, Anthony's gonna treat him like one.
Oh, is that true?
Tell us about Cooper.
Well, Cooper is my own dog, so he's, well, on some days it's kind of like the plumber with the leaky sink, where I can't call my dog, like he's not even paying attention to me. But he also is extremely well trained. He knows a lot of things, right? He knows how to respond to many, many cues, mostly like this. He's a clown. Right?
He is a clown.
He's always got the clown side of whatever behavior we're working on.
Is he a boxer or a
He
mix?
he is likely a boxer Ridgeback mix.
And was he a rescue?
He was a rescue. Cooper, you want to be part of the show, please? Come here. Come on. Cooper heel. Cooper down. That's good. Just stick with us for a minute, please. At the time, I had a client that was looking for a dog, and I ended up putting him in 2 homes before I realized, well, this is a lot of dog for anybody to handle. And so I took him back with me, and I had him for a couple of months, and I started to like him. One of the things that I liked about him was he was a challenge.
But Laura, can you find
So
out
Cooper-
where he came from? I mean, what his early life was?
So what was your life like before you came to Daddy? You had a family? They liked to play with you a lot? You thought they were gonna come back? He said that they kept saying that they wanted him, but they were trying to find the right place to keep him. He says he likes to be in movement, and he notices that it's easier for other dogs. He says, and when you tell me don't bite really hard, what does that mean? Because I was telling him not to bite really hard. It means that when you feel like you have to go after another dog or a person, you're biting way too hard. And when you're with your mouth, you're breaking the skin or you're making a bruise. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like with your mouth, buddy, listen. Maybe if you didn't use your mouth at all, you wouldn't have a problem when you're in full arousal. So maybe you could practice not using your mouth at all.
So tell us, one of the problems people have sometimes is dog aggression. How does that work when you're dealing with dogs?
This particular issue is one of the hardest pieces for me to express. So my relationship with this dog, this is my dog, just like everybody else loves their dog. So in my job, I'm regularly being asked to work with difficult dogs. So I was on the beach with 3 other difficult dogs, and I had my own dog who's very well trained and very reliable. So as people would approach on the beach, I would back up onto the soft sand, let people cross, and then I'd continue with my training. And then this guy comes along with his own dog, and he sees me back up on the soft sand, and he turns and comes up to see us. Well, I'm trying to manage my dogs. My own dog, who's well behaved, is not on a leash because I just tell him to lay down and he just stays there. Well, one of the difficult dogs I have and his dog get into a mix. His dog's not on a leash. Well, he becomes concerned and starts whacking all the dogs with the chuck-it. Well, I'm worried about the dogs I have in my care. I don't want his dog to have holes in them. I don't want my dogs to have holes in them. Off from the side comes Cooper and attacks the guy that's whacking his pack with the chuck-it. So now I have a dog that has completely lost his focus on me and is going after someone else. So the thing that is the most difficult for me to express to people is that this is not your fur baby. This is a predator, a domesticated predator. And if we don't keep that in mind, we're gonna get ourselves in trouble. And it's my responsibility to protect my dog from making the wrong choice. So now he's under scrutiny because he bit somebody. He is now a dog known to bite. That's his category, a dog known to bite.
I also want to point something out because I think this is really important that I think other people miss. There are other dogs going to the beach, on hiking trails. When you see somebody pull their dogs, no matter how well trained they look, and bring them away from your dog or away from where you're headed, it is best to just walk by. Because I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. And I think that situation, I'm not blaming it on that man, but that situation could have been avoided if he had just read what Anthony was doing with his dogs and just walked on.
Well, Laura, this has been amazing. And Cooper, what a joy to meet Cooper here. And thank you, Anthony, for bringing Cooper to Animal Zone today.
Super heel. Very good. Keep it down. Back up. Back up. Back. Back, back, back. Go on. Back up. Nice. Good boy.
Good boy, yay! Yay!
Come on, give me a good jump. Go, 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 go.
That's awesome. Hi all, thank you for joining us today. I'm Laura, the pet psychic, as you all know, and I want to really thank you for tuning into this video. I made it for two different reasons. I made it so one, people who have reactive dogs or dogs that have issue can see that you can rehab these dogs and that you can get them so that you can take them out into the world and have a great time with them. You just got to put work into them and just kind of know their limits. So that's one reason why I made this video. The second reason is for dog owners that have the perfect dog and the dog that is completely well socialized and has no issues or like no issues of aggression, to let them know that these dogs exist out in the world and that you will at some point be around a dog like this. If you take your dog out, You will come in contact with these dogs, and it is your responsibility to be aware and to help these people, these dog owners, and these dogs to have a good situation. And you have a lot of power in that. So I have a book called Voices of the Animals. It's a great book. There's lots of tips on how to talk to animals, lots of stories of my work. It's just an awesome book. You can get it on Amazon or anywhere where books are sold. And I have an article in it called Calling All Off-Leash Dog Owners. And I want to read it to you today because I think it's a really great article to put with these two videos that I shared with you. And so I'm going to read from it right now. And again, it's called Calling All Off-Leash Dog Owners. Can you put your dog on leash? Please call your dog away from us. This dog has issues. This dog is frightened. My dog might kill your dog. These are all things I've screamed to people when walking a troubled dog on leash. My dog is friendly, I often hear back, with no action taken to leash their dog or to call their dog to them. This dog is not, I will scream. If you ever hear this, take it seriously. If I'm farther away, I might hold up the end of the leash and shake it so that the dog owner in the distance can see that my dog is on leash. I might put my dog in a heel and move off to the side. I might put the dog in a sit or a downstay or hold out a treat to get them focused on me. I might reach into my bag and start putting my dog into a gentle leader or a muzzle. People and dogs who are acting in this way that I just explained need your help. They need you to be present for a moment. Please think about this. As an off-leash dog owner, you have the responsibility to be watching your surroundings for this situation. If someone asks you to leash your dog, do not take it personally against you or your dog. Do not feel your dog can handle that dog. Don't get mad, annoyed, or frustrated. I'm going to be very harsh here. Don't be stupid and let your dog approach this situation. As a conscious pet owner, you have to realize that not all dogs are as well socialized as yours, and that these dogs and their people need your help. They need you to be watching out for them and helping them have a good experience. It may be an inconvenience for you, but they need you to show them that your dog will not approach them. How do you do this? If you have an exuberant dog that may run over to them or try to get close, leash your dog until they have passed you and that you are confident your dog will not run after them. These troubled dogs may not be able to read that your dog is not a threat. If you have a dog that you can control with voice commands or that you're confident will stay away, show the person that your dog is cool. Call your dog to you, reach down and pet your dog. Wave to that person. Just do something that says, I hear you, my dog is under control. If you have a dog that is ball obsessed and you know your dog couldn't care less about the other dog, wave to the other dog owner and show them something that says, she is all about the ball, don't worry. And then watch to see how that dog reacts when you throw the ball. If it looks stressed and excitable, hold the ball and keep your dog still until they pass. If you continue throwing the ball, make sure you do it in the opposite direction. If you're walking in the direction of someone who has just asked you to leash your dog or showed you in some way that they are troubled, watch them. Are they trying to get organized? Are they ready for you to pass them? You may need to slow down or stop for a moment. Maybe you need to walk quickly past them, or it may be best that you stand still and they pass you. Or perhaps it's okay for you both to keep walking and pass each other. I know that this can sound like a lot of work, but it isn't. You and your dog's behavior in these moments can have enormous impact on the emotional well-being of these troubled dogs and their handlers. Little successes will build confidence in these dogs and their handlers. If you allow your dog to approach, these dogs might become aggressive to the point that they may knock down their people, lunge at your dog, bite your dog, and seriously harm your dog. You may say that these dogs should not be out with their people, but in fact, these dogs may be more well-trained than your own. They may know advanced obedience commands, tricks, do canine sports, and be therapy dogs. If not, they may be in a training program to help them through their fear, aggression, and anxiety. These are intelligent dogs that either have been through trauma or have the genetics that cannot handle being in an environment with fast movements or being approached by another dog. They may have been attacked by other dogs at some point in their life or abused by people. They may have high stress hormones passed down from them from their mothers, or they may have been strays that have learned that an approaching dog usually means a fight for territory. Their handlers are doing their very best to get their dogs out for joy, exercise, training, and socialization. These dogs need to be set up for success. I want you to understand that these dogs may look very happy and well socialized from a distance. But once your dog crosses that comfort zone, these dogs may go into flight or fight response, which is very similar to a human who has post-traumatic stress. When these animals are pushed past their comfort zones, instincts for survival kick in. It may be hard for their handlers to control them, and a disaster may occur. Their comfort zones may be 30 feet, 20 feet, or 5 feet. A perceived bad experience can set these dogs back months. If these dogs and people have a good experience when they are out, they are closer to overcoming their fear and aggression. These dogs may one day be able to greet dogs in a controlled environment or even run free. If you love dogs, take all of this to heart. The people who are handling these dogs are doing the very best they can. They may have never known an aggressive or fearful dog before, and they're doing their very best to get their dogs socialized and give them a joyful life. Some of these people have been through trauma themselves, trying to contain their dogs from going after or running away from other dogs that have approached them. Some of these people have fallen, been bitten trying to break up a fight, or just empathetically traumatized by seeing their dog struggle. So if a handler is frantically yelling at you to leash your dog, don't take it personally. They're just being triggered into a post-traumatic stress response by your unleashed dog. Just take a breath and do one of those things I mentioned to let them know, all will be fine, I have my dog under control. When you leave the home to walk your dog, there's no worry. It's just going out to play and exercise the dog. But when these handlers leave their home, they're working very hard at creating an enjoyable, positive experience for their dog. They're replacing thoughts of, I hope we don't have an incident, with this walk is going to be awesome, we can handle this. So when you are out with your dog, keep an eye out for these situations. If you see a dog on leash in the distance, or even under the table at a restaurant, ask yourself, how is their person responding by seeing you and your dog? Are they getting out treats or putting different equipment on their dog? Are they asking their dog to heel or pay attention to them? If so, help them out without being asked. You will make their day. They probably will pass you with gleaming smiles, extreme gratitude, and tons of praise for their dog. That night, they'll be bragging to their friends and family how well their dog did and how they had such an awesome walk. It's true. I have been this person. Spread the word on this. These dogs and people are everywhere you walk. They need our compassion and our help. Thank you. I do. I hope you guys take that all to heart. And I hope it makes you kind of watch your surroundings and look for these dogs, but also believe that these dogs are being trained and they're learning how to be great doggy citizens out in the world. Well, thank you guys for tuning into my videos. Always more to come, and sending you all lots of love and blessings. Go talk with the animals.
Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. Every time